Hello everyone. So approximately 2 weeks ago, well actually 3 weeks ago, I have set up this biotop styled unheated and initially filterless aquarium for my colony, my breeding colony of celestial pearl danios. And now I'm going to do a bit of an update how this system is doing. Also, I'm going to add some new plants to this fish tank, install a new light, submersible hygger LED light to this tank, and do a bit of maintenance. But before I do all of these things, I'll just show you how this system is doing 3 weeks later. Well, CPDs are certainly very happy. They're all over the place. They completely got used to this new setup and settled well. In terms of plants, well, this huge mountain of different mosses, a mixture of Christmas moss, Java moss, flame moss and spiky moss, it is doing all right, but it's actually probably haven't started to thrive yet. Sagittaria, Platyphila, which are those plants in the back, they seem to be growing. Actually, some of the leaves are becoming a bit yellow, which is normal because apparently before that plant was growing immersed at the seller's place, and now it's adapting to growing underwater, which is absolutely normal. But there are some new leaves popping up, which is a good sign. Elodia densa, which is a plant in here, and I thought that this actually will be sort of the most hardy and durable plant because it grows in ponds, but actually it's not showing too much growth. Yeah, well, there is some fresh growth on edges, on ends of this plants, but it hasn't been growing too crazy for me so far. So we'll see. One plant that has been doing quite well is actually Hydrocotyle tripartita Japan, which is growing sort of between moss and Sagittaria. I've tried to create that sort of undergrowth in between these two plants, and it is doing great actually, and I quite like it. So I was thinking that this space in front of the tank, which is all empty, I'm going to be adding more of this Hydrocotyle tripartita in there. I grow a lot of it. It actually grows like wheat, immersed in my paludarium, in my main display tank, tropical paludarium, and I just cut it, and I will be adding it here. Surprisingly, this tank doesn't really have much algae, considering that this is a new system. There is some diatom algae in here, which I'm going to clean, but that's pretty much it. There's no other algae growing elsewhere, either on plants or on glass, which is very surprising for me because most of my tanks, especially new systems, have quite a bit of different types of algae. So we'll start with adding the new plants and cleaning algae. Well, one change that I did to this tank since I've set it up is I replaced an air stone with a small sponge filter. Actually, I didn't, not because this system did not function without any filtration. Actually, it was doing quite well, but because of the sound issues. Airstone, just like all airstones do, did produce quite a lot of bubbling sound, and normally I don't mind airstones in my tanks in my fish room, which is absolutely fine, but this is a very quiet room, and this loud bubbling sound of an airstone was just killing me, so I had to replace it with a small sponge filter which has this airlift structure, and it is really quiet actually. It doesn't make much of a bubbling sound, especially when the lid is on. Yeah, I guess, well, it's still very clean, so I don't think I need filtration on this system, but I added it. On such small nano tanks, I usually clean algae in different corners with this cotton buds, because using a glass scraper like this will cause too much disturbance to the plants and substrate, so this is sort of a easier way to deal with algae, and that's basically it. It's all clean now. So now we're going to add this Hydrocotyle tripartita Japan. Probably going to take these plants some time to grow underwater because they have been growing completely immersed, but that's fine. I'm going to add it quite chaotically in here, because eventually they will set up roots and they will start growing in the ways I like. There's no need to attach them firmly, and CPDs are not exactly substrate borrowing fish, so they will not do much damage. I always like to add a bit more plants, especially of new plants, so that at least some of them will settle down and start growing. If I had any substrate borrowing or substrate disturbing fish, probably this is not going to work, but with CPD is perfectly fine. So now we're going to unbox and install this hygger submersible LED light. I have received this lamp for free from Hygger when I explained what sort of a light I'm looking for. This is not a sponsored video, but I will leave a link to Amazon page of this particular lamp in the video description. I needed a relatively small lamp, so this is an 11 watt option, but they come at different sizes, and I believe you can also get a larger one if you have a larger tank. So this is a submersible LED light. I've never had a submersible light, so I'm really excited. The reason I actually need a different lighting on this tank, because currently I have this no brand clip-on lamp, and the main problem is with the way this lamp is attached, like here. I can't really fully close the cover lid, the cover glass, because of this thing. So there's also a lot of condensation that sort of accumulates in this area, and because of this sort of weakering effect, a lot of water drops, they start flowing down on the other side of the tank, and well, it's not exactly a flood, but it doesn't really make things nice and pleasant. And also this lamp is sort of oversized. It's too large, and quite a significant part of that lamp actually doesn't really do anything to this fish tank. Let's have a look at what's inside. A power cable, standard one. This is a UK plug. And this is a lamp itself. It comes with some user's manual. This is apparently how you're going to set up different lighting modes. And this is a lamp itself. It comes with these suction cups, which I knew will be part of this lamp. My idea is to install it under the cover glass. So, well, obviously there are bubbles here, but that's absolutely fine, because it will be closer to the water line, and it will provide more light to the plants. And also because it's a submersible lamp, it should withstand all the water drops and all the humidity and liquid inside. I'm not going to submerge it as such, because I don't really need to, and there's no probably place to submerge it. I've selected a lamp of this particular size because I can either use it like this or like that, and it's perfect for a cube aquarium like this one, a small cube aquarium, because I will use a full potential of all of these LED lamps. I switched on the lights, and it's actually currently at 100% brightness. It's very bright. I can say that it literally just absolutely bedazzles you with the brightness of LED lights. This is a full spectrum. You can obviously choose different colors, blue, yellow, red, and I think orange, and maybe white. But I've used this full spectrum because this is what I need for growing plants. I will sort of aim it at the camera so you could see how the full spectrum looks like. The setup is quite straightforward, but also at the same time fairly advanced. You need to set up your current time using the set button. Then if you would like to set up a timer, you can use this timer button. You can select various durations, how many hours you want this light to be on. I don't want to use it on timer, so I'm using a 24/7 setup, which will create this different lighting periods, sunset, sunrise, moonlight, daytime, and so on. And basically my current time is 4 p.m. so this is how it is going to work at 4 p.m. setting, and apparently it will transition to other periods of daytime, so it will transition towards evening light, which is probably sunset, and then moonlight later on. So let's have it installed on the fish tank. And my idea is actually to try to connect it like this. Let's see how it's gonna fit in here. So I've installed it so far underwater. It looks great, to be honest. The color spectrum and the light brightness are perfect for this tank, and obviously the size is perfect. Okay, so I'm very happy with the lamp. It has very low profile. The lid now sits on perfectly. It doesn't stick out, and it perfectly covers the fish tank. Nothing is leaking from top part. Whether these suction cups are going to hold it and whether it is actually going to collapse into the fish tank, I don't know at this point. But even if it does collapse and falls into the water, because it's submersible, it should cause no harm to the fish or to other inhabitants. But we'll see whether it's going to hold on, and I'll certainly will be making more updates about this system, and I'll tell you how the lamp is doing. So far I'm very happy with this product. Well, so that's it for now. Don't forget to leave your comments. What do you think about this tank? Would you like me to make some changes to it, or you like it the way it is? And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll see you soon.